Tourist attractions are designed to thrill, amaze, and create lifelong memories. But behind the postcard-perfect images and viral social media posts, some destinations hide a chilling reality. They can be deadly. From sheer cliffs with no guardrails to natural wonders that erupt without warning. These places lure millions of visitors every year, some of whom never make it back home. Today, we're counting down 20 tourist attractions that could actually kill you. Trolltunga Cliff, Norway. Trolltunga, or the Troll's Tongue, is one of the most striking natural formations in Norway. A dramatic slab of rock jutting out nearly 2,300 feet above the shimmering Ringadalsvatnet Lake. It looks like something carved straight out of a fantasy novel, and naturally it has become a magnet for Instagram photos and travel bucket lists. But what most glossy images don't show is just how perilous this attraction can be. Reaching Trolltunga isn't a casual stroll. It's a grueling 10 to 12-hour hike that covers about 17 miles round trip, often through unpredictable alpine weather. Many visitors underestimate the trek, showing up without proper gear, only to be caught in sudden rain, snow, or thick fog that transforms the trail into a dangerous gamble. Once at the cliff itself, the risks escalate. There are no safety railings, no ropes, no second chances. Strong winds whip across the exposed rock, and one misplaced step could send a visitor plummeting into the abyss. Rescue teams regularly respond to calls for stranded or injured hikers who misjudge the climb. Trolltunga might promise the photo of a lifetime, but it's also a place where a single mistake could mean the end of a lifetime. Death Road, Bolivia. Carved into the sheer cliffs of the Andes, Bolivia's North Yungas Road, chillingly nicknamed Death Road, is both breathtaking and terrifying. For decades, it served as the main route between La Paz and Coroico, snaking 40 miles through dense jungle and plunging ravines. In some places, the road narrows to just 10 feet across, barely enough for one vehicle, while vertical drops of up to 2,000 feet wait only inches away. To make matters worse, the region's frequent fog, heavy rainfall, and cascading waterfalls often turn the dirt road into a slick, muddy slide with almost no visibility. Before a safer bypass was built, an estimated 200 to 300 people died here every year in horrifying crashes. Buses and trucks would lose traction and vanish over the edge, swallowed by the abyss. Today, the road has found new life as a thrill-seeker's playground. Thousands of mountain bikers come each year to race down its twisting path, weaving through blind corners and narrow ledges. While fatalities have decreased, accidents still happen, sometimes with fatal results. For many adventurers, the ride down Death Road is the ultimate adrenaline rush. But here, one shaky handlebar or momentary distraction could easily turn exhilaration into tragedy. Haiku Stairs, Hawaii. Hidden among the misty peaks of Oahu's Ko'olau Mountains, the Haiku Stairs, better known as the Stairway to Heaven, are both legendary and forbidden. This staircase of nearly 4,000 steep metal steps was originally built during World War II to give the U.S. Navy access to a radio station perched high above the clouds. Today, the trail is officially closed to the public, but that hasn't stopped determined hikers from sneaking past guards, fences, and no trespassing signs in pursuit of its jaw-dropping views. The climb itself is grueling, vertigo-inducing, and fraught with danger. Sections of the staircase cling precariously to cliff sides, with rusted railings and steps dangling over 1,000-foot drops. A single misstep, or worse, a slippery rainstorm, can send hikers tumbling into oblivion. Landslides and unstable ground add to the peril, and emergency rescues cost taxpayers thousands of dollars each year. Despite the risks in the law, the trail remains irresistible to many, who describe reaching the summit as walking above the clouds. But for others, the temptation has ended in tragedy. The Haiku Stairs are proof that some paths, no matter how beautiful, were never meant to be walked. Half Dome, Yosemite, USA. Half Dome is one of Yosemite National Park's most iconic landmarks, a granite giant rising nearly 5,000 feet above the valley floor. Its curved, sheer face is instantly recognizable. But for many, the ultimate challenge is not admiring it from below, but conquering its summit. The journey is punishing. A 14 to 16-mile round-trip hike with an elevation gain of almost 5,000 feet, testing even seasoned adventurers. Yet the real trial comes at the end. The final 400 feet require scaling the dome's nearly vertical slope using a pair of steel cables bolted into the rock. Without them, the climb would be near impossible for ordinary hikers. The ascent is nerve-wracking even in perfect conditions. Your feet balance on slick granite, your hands grip the cables with white-knuckled desperation, and a single slip could mean a fatal fall. When storms roll in, danger skyrockets. Rain turns the rock into a natural slide, while lightning frequently strikes the exposed peak. Over the years, dozens of hikers have fallen, been struck, or simply collapsed from exhaustion. For many, reaching the top of Half Dome is a life-changing victory. For others, it has tragically been the last climb they ever attempted. Edge Walk, CN Tower, Canada. Toronto's CN Tower is famous for its panoramic skyline views, but thrill seekers know it for something far more nerve-wracking: the Edge Walk. At over 1,160 feet above the city streets, visitors strap into a harness, clip onto an overhead rail, and step out onto a narrow platform just over 5 feet wide. There are no walls, no guardrails, just the open sky and a dizzying drop beneath your feet. Guides encourage participants to lean back over the edge, arms spread, dangling hundreds of stories above the ground. While the experience is tightly regulated, with state-of-the-art safety gear and rigorous checks, the psychological danger is undeniable. Your body screams at you to retreat, your mind imagines every what-if scenario, and adrenaline surges with every step. One minor mistake by equipment handlers, or an unforeseen mechanical failure, could turn the thrill into disaster. Even without accidents, some participants panic mid-walk, frozen in fear, unable to continue. The Edge Walk is marketed as the world's highest full-circle, hands-free walk, and for many it's an unforgettable bucket list achievement. But make no mistake, stepping out onto that ledge is as close to flirting with death as most people will ever get. Nevis Swing, New Zealand. In the rugged heart of Queenstown, New Zealand, often called the adventure capital of the world, lurks one of the most extreme thrill rides on Earth, the Nevis Swing. Suspended over a yawning canyon, it's not just a swing, it's a controlled plunge into sheer terror. Riders are strapped into a harness, dangled 530 feet above the Nevis River, and then dropped into a stomach-flipping freefall that quickly turns into a massive 984-foot arc, one of the largest swings on the planet. The sensation is unlike anything else. For the first few seconds, your body plummets straight down toward jagged rocks and rushing water, the ground racing up to meet you. Then, just as your brain begins to scream impact, the cables catch and whip you into a pendulum swing at speeds reaching 75 miles per hour. It's a cocktail of exhilaration and raw panic. Though the operation is highly regulated and fatalities are virtually non-existent, the danger feels real every second you're in the air. Harness failures, sudden gusts, or equipment malfunction are nightmare scenarios that dance in the back of riders' minds. For adrenaline junkies, the Nevis Swing is the ultimate test of courage, or a brush with death wrapped in pure thrill. Kilauea Volcano, Hawaii. On Hawaii's Big Island, Kilauea is more than a tourist attraction. It's one of the most active volcanoes on Earth and a reminder of nature's untamed power. For decades, visitors have flocked to witness its glowing lava flows spilling across the landscape, reshaping the island in real time. It's mesmerizing to watch rivers of molten rock carving new coastlines, but behind the beauty lies a host of deadly risks. The lava itself burns at over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to incinerate anything in its path. Getting too close isn't just reckless, it's potentially fatal. Even at a distance, the danger lingers. When lava hits the ocean, it creates laze, a toxic steam filled with hydrochloric acid and razor-sharp glass particles that can scar lungs in a single breath. Earthquakes and sudden fissures sometimes open without warning, releasing lava or suffocating gases. Sulfur dioxide clouds, known locally as VOG, choke the air, leaving eyes burning and lungs struggling for air. Yet despite these hazards, people still edge dangerously close for that once-in-a-lifetime photo. Guides stress caution, but Kilauea plays by its own rules. It's a living, breathing reminder that Earth itself can be both stunningly creative and brutally destructive in the same fiery moment. Glass Slide, Los Angeles, USA. High above the bustling streets of downtown Los Angeles, the U.S. Bank Tower hides a thrill that blends luxury with sheer terror. The Glass Slide. Perched 1,000 feet in the air on the 70th floor, this transparent chute stretches just 45 feet from one floor to the next. But what makes it terrifying is what lies beneath. The slide is made entirely of glass, just over an inch thick, with nothing but the dizzying sprawl of the city visible below your feet. For a few seconds, you're suspended in midair, hurtling down the slick surface with only gravity and control. Engineers insist the slide is safe, built to withstand hurricane-force winds and enormous pressure, but fear is part of the design. Every creak, every squeak beneath you feels like a warning. Your brain struggles to accept that a sheet of glass is all that separates you from a 1,000-foot plunge. Some riders freeze before stepping in, others scream the whole way down, and a few refuse to even try after seeing it in person. While no deaths have been recorded, the psychological danger is undeniable. The Glass Slide proves that sometimes the scariest attractions don't need height or speed. They just need a thin barrier between you and oblivion. New Smyrna Beach, Florida, with its golden sand and rolling Atlantic waves, New Smyrna Beach looks like the perfect Florida getaway. Families flock here to surf, swim, and soak up the sun, but beneath its inviting surface lies a sinister title, the shark bite capital of the world. The warm waters and abundant fish draw hundreds of sharks close to shore, including blacktips, spinners, and the occasional bull shark. While most aren't massive man-eaters, their sheer numbers make encounters almost inevitable. On average, New Smyrna records more shark bites each year than any other beach on the planet. Most incidents are test bites, where sharks mistake surfers' hands or feet for prey in the murky water. Still, even a small bite can cause serious injury or infection. Lifeguards frequently pull swimmers from the surf after encounters, and locals almost shrug at the risk. It's practically part of the beach's reputation. But for visitors unaware of the danger, the sudden snap of jaws can turn a vacation into a nightmare. The irony is that the same waves that make New Smyrna a surfer's paradise also keep sharks prowling near the shore. Here, fun in the sun comes with a chilling reminder. You're sharing the water with predators. Volcano boarding, Nicaragua. In the shadow of Cerro Negro, one of Central America's youngest and most active volcanoes, thrill seekers line up for an experience that sounds almost absurd: volcano boarding. Instead of snow, riders hurtle down the steep black slope of ash and volcanic rock on a wooden sled, reaching speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. Dressed in bright orange jumpsuits and goggles, it looks like a quirky adventure sport. But beneath the novelty lies a serious risk. Cerro Negro is no dormant relic. It has erupted more than 20 times since the 1800s, and its last explosion coated the area in ash. The slope itself is unforgiving. Sharp volcanic rocks can shred exposed skin on impact, and crashes are common. Riders who lose control often tumble down the jagged incline, collecting nasty cuts, bruises, or broken bones. The ash also kicks up clouds of fine dust, making it hard to breathe while barreling downhill. Add in the sweltering Nicaraguan heat and the very real possibility of sudden volcanic activity, and this extreme sport starts looking less like fun and more like a dare with fate. For many, it's the adrenaline rush of a lifetime, but for the unlucky, it can end in disaster. Kawah Ijen Volcano, Indonesia. Deep in East Java lies Kawah Ijen, a volcano unlike any other, famous for its surreal blue flames that dance across the crater at night. These flames aren't mystical. They're created when sulfuric gases seep from vents, ignite upon contact with air, and burn at nearly 2,400 degrees Fahrenheit. Tourists hike in the dark to witness this rare spectacle, but the danger is staggering. The air is thick with toxic sulfur dioxide, which can scar lungs, burn eyes, and cause unconsciousness within minutes if masks fail or winds suddenly shift. At the base of the crater rests a stunning turquoise lake, but its beauty hides a deadly secret. The water is one of the most acidic bodies on Earth, capable of dissolving metal and burning human skin. Surrounding the lake are miners who labor daily, hauling chunks of solid sulfur in suffocating conditions. A reminder that this danger isn't just for tourists, it's a way of life for many locals. Landslides, sudden gas eruptions, and the sheer climb itself add even more peril. Kawah Ijen is mesmerizing, a natural wonder glowing with eerie beauty, but every step into its crater is a gamble with toxic fumes and lethal waters waiting below. Death Valley, California. Death Valley is a place where Earth feels almost alien. Stretching across eastern California, it's the hottest, driest, and lowest national park in the United States. Summer temperatures regularly soar past 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and the highest ever recorded here reached a blistering 134 degrees Fahrenheit, the hottest temperature ever measured on the planet. Tourists arrive expecting a desert road trip or a quick selfie at Badwater Basin, but many underestimate just how unforgiving this landscape can be. Dehydration and heat stroke are the valley's most common killers. A car breakdown or a wrong turn can quickly escalate into a life-threatening emergency, as shade is scarce and cell service is unreliable. Every year, hikers collapse while attempting trails without enough water, and even experienced travelers can be caught off guard by the searing heat. Add to that the disorienting mirages, venomous wildlife like rattlesnakes and scorpions, and the possibility of flash floods after sudden storms, and Death Valley earns its ominous name. Still, its extremes lure thousands of visitors annually, drawn by salt flats that look like snow, rainbow-colored mountains, and surreal night skies. But beneath the beauty lies a stark truth. In Death Valley, nature doesn't forgive mistakes, and survival depends on preparation. Fraser Island, Australia. At first glance, Fraser Island looks like paradise. Off the coast of Queensland, it's the world's largest sand island, boasting crystal-clear lakes, towering rainforests, and endless golden beaches. But beneath its beauty lies a minefield of dangers that make it one of Australia's most hazardous tourist destinations. The island is home to a dense population of dingoes, which may appear tame, but have been known to attack unsuspecting visitors, especially children. Tourists often ignore warnings and try to feed them, turning encounters into emergencies. The surrounding waters are equally treacherous. Strong rip currents make swimming deadly, while the ocean is patrolled by bull sharks and tiger sharks, two of the most aggressive species in the world. Venture inland and freshwater lakes may look inviting, but some hide populations of venomous jellyfish and even freshwater crocodiles. On top of that, the island's sandy tracks can trap vehicles, leaving unprepared travelers stranded in extreme heat. Despite these risks, Fraser Island attracts thousands who come for its natural beauty and adventure. But every visitor quickly learns a sobering lesson. In this slice of paradise, nature makes the rules, and one careless mistake can turn a dream holiday into a nightmare. The Darvaza gas crater, Turkmenistan. In the middle of Turkmenistan's Karakum Desert, a fiery pit burns day and night, earning the chilling nickname, the Door to Hell. Officially called the Darvaza gas crater, it measures roughly 230 feet across and 100 feet deep, glowing with flames that have roared for more than 5 decades. The story goes that Soviet geologists in the early 1970s accidentally drilled into a massive natural gas pocket. Fearing poisonous methane leaks, they set the crater alight, expecting it to burn out in a few weeks. Instead, it has been blazing ever since. Tourists travel from around the world to stand at its edge, watching flames lick the night sky and hearing the constant roar of burning gas. But the danger is very real. The ground surrounding the crater is unstable, with soft sand that could collapse underfoot. Toxic fumes drift from the pit, making prolonged exposure hazardous. The sheer heat radiating from the flames is intense enough to cause burns at a distance, and venturing too close could be fatal. The Darvaza gas crater is mesmerizing, like peering into Earth's furnace, but it's also a reminder of how one human mistake can create a spectacle that feels more like a portal to another world. Mount Everest, Nepal. At 29,032 feet, Mount Everest is the ultimate mountaineering prize, and one of the world's deadliest attractions. Each year, climbers from around the globe flock to Nepal, driven by the dream of standing on top of the world. But the journey upward is a brutal test of endurance, where the air thins, the cold bites, and survival is anything but guaranteed. More than 300 people have died attempting the climb, and many of their bodies remain frozen along the route, serving as haunting markers for those who follow. Above 26,000 feet lies the notorious death zone, where oxygen levels are so low that the human body slowly shuts down. Here, even taking a few steps feels like running a marathon, and exhaustion can set in within minutes. Avalanches, hidden crevasses, and sudden storms add to the constant threats. Rescue is nearly impossible at such heights, leaving stricken climbers to their fate. Despite the dangers, Everest's allure never fades. The chance to reach its summit is seen as a once-in-a-lifetime triumph. But the mountain is indifferent to ambition. One miscalculation, one gust of wind, one moment of weakness, and the dream of conquering Everest can turn into a frozen tragedy. Pulpit Rock, Norway. Towering nearly 2,000 feet above the Lysefjord, Pulpit Rock, known locally as Preikestolen, is one of Norway's most famous natural landmarks. Its massive flat-topped cliff juts out like a giant stone pulpit, offering breathtaking views of fjords, mountains, and endless sky. Each year, hundreds of thousands of hikers make the trek up its steep trails for the chance to stand at the edge, arms spread wide with nothing but open air beneath them. But that edge is exactly what makes Pulpit Rock so perilous. There are no guardrails, no ropes, no barriers of any kind. Visitors regularly dangle their feet over the abyss for photos, oblivious to how a sudden gust of wind, or even a dizzy spell, could turn the moment into a fatal plunge. The hike itself isn't without risk either. Weather in Norway's fjords is notoriously unpredictable, with fog, rain, and slick stone paths quickly transforming a scenic trek into a dangerous ordeal. Rescue crews have had to retrieve stranded or injured hikers who underestimated the conditions. For those who reach the summit safely, the view is unforgettable. But Pulpit Rock serves as a stark reminder. Sometimes nature's most stunning platforms come with no safety net, only the sky waiting below. Cliffs of Moher, Ireland. Rising nearly 700 feet above the roaring Atlantic Ocean, the Cliffs of Moher are among Ireland's most visited natural wonders. Stretching for about 9 miles along the rugged western coast, the cliffs offer sweeping views of endless sea and jagged rock faces carved by centuries of waves and wind. On clear days, visitors can even spot the Aran Islands and Galway Bay. But behind the postcard beauty lies a deadly edge. Much of the cliffside is unguarded, with only natural grass and loose soil separating tourists from the abyss. Many ignore warning signs, venturing dangerously close for that perfect photograph. A sudden gust of Ireland's infamous coastal winds can be strong enough to knock someone off balance. And with sheer drops straight into violent surf below, there's little chance of survival. On foggy or rainy days, the risk multiplies. Slippery paths and near-zero visibility make it easy to misstep. Rescue teams have responded to numerous accidents and tragedies over the years, as the cliffs have also drawn those seeking more than just a thrill. For most visitors, however, they remain a breathtaking highlight of Ireland, one that rewards respect. At the Cliffs of Moher, the difference between wonder and disaster is just one step too far. Snake Island, Brazil. Just off the coast of São Paulo lies Ilha da Queimada Grande, better known as Snake Island, a place so dangerous it's completely off-limits to the public. From afar, it looks like a tropical paradise with lush greenery and rocky shores. But step foot on it, and you're entering a realm ruled by one of the deadliest snakes on Earth, the golden lancehead viper. Estimates suggest there are between 2 and 5 snakes per square meter, making it nearly impossible to walk without stumbling across one. The golden lancehead's venom is 5 times more potent than that of its mainland relatives, capable of melting human flesh and killing within hours. Locals whisper legends of fishermen who strayed too close, only for their bodies to wash ashore days later. Even Brazil's Navy avoids the island, only allowing scientists occasional visits under strict supervision. Snake Island is more than a creepy curiosity. It's a living reminder of nature's ability to create lethal pockets of biodiversity. While its isolation has helped the golden lancehead thrive, it has also cemented the island's reputation as one of the most terrifying places on Earth. A forbidden Eden where beauty and death intertwine with every step. Mount Hua Plank Walk, China. High above the valleys of Shanxi province, the Mount Hua Plank Walk is often called the most dangerous hike in the world, and for good reason. Clinging to the vertical cliffs of Mount Hua, the path is nothing more than a few wooden planks bolted into sheer rock, thousands of feet above the ground. To reach it, adventurers must first climb steep ladders and narrow steps carved into the mountainside, all while strapped into a basic harness clipped to a single cable. Once on the planks, every step feels like a gamble. Some boards creak underfoot, while others look weathered from years of exposure. The path is so narrow that two people can't pass each other without one clinging to the cliff face. And beneath? Nothing but dizzying emptiness. One misplaced step, one unhooked carabiner, or even a shaky burst of vertigo could mean certain death. Despite the danger, thrill seekers from around the world flock here for the adrenaline rush and the panoramic views of Mount Hua's sacred peaks. It's part pilgrimage, part daredevil stunt. For many, completing the walk is less about sightseeing and more about proving they can stare death in the face and take one cautious step past it. Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe/Zambia. Straddling the border of Zimbabwe and Zambia, Victoria Falls isn't just one of the largest waterfalls in the world. It's also one of the most dangerous natural attractions on Earth. Known locally as Mosi Oa or the smoke that thunders, the falls plunge over 350 feet into a roaring gorge, with a curtain of water more than a mile wide. The sheer power of the spray creates permanent mist and slippery surfaces everywhere, making even walking near the edge a risk. But the greatest danger lies at the Devil's Pool, a natural infinity pool perched right on the lip of the falls. During the dry season, adventurous swimmers are guided to this rocky basin, where only a thin barrier of submerged rock separates them from the deadly plunge. One slip, one misplaced hand, or one surge of current could hurl a swimmer straight into the abyss. Several accidents over the years have fueled the site's chilling reputation. Even away from the pool, the falls demand respect. Rainbows and breathtaking views can quickly distract visitors from the treacherous drops, unpredictable currents, and wildlife like crocodiles and hippos lurking nearby. Victoria Falls may be one of nature's greatest spectacles, but here, the line between wonder and peril is razor thin. Tourism is often about chasing beauty, adventure, and bragging rights, but some destinations blur the line between breathtaking and fatal. From cliffs where one misstep means the end, to landscapes so extreme they defy human survival, these attractions remind us that nature, tradition, and thrill-seeking can all come with deadly consequences. The next time you plan a trip, ask yourself, is the view worth the risk?